guys, surprise! I have put together a silk painting kit for you. I get so much joy painting and I thought, why not share that with some other people as well? And some of you may have had a chance to paint on silk, and others, this is brand new. The whole idea here is for us to have fun together. So my plan is just to give you some tips, advice, show you a little bit of technique. I set up a few different drawings just to make it easier, and then really, let's have some fun. And this is something where we can do it together as a video so you can get started, get warmed up, and then go from there. And hopefully this is something that maybe you'll continue. So let's look at the kit and see what we have inside. When you go into the bag or the box, you'll first find here the silk painting die. And I say die because it is different than paint. It's meant for silk and cotton fabric, and it's a liquid. And you don't need very much. It goes a very long way. So these little bottles, you'll squeeze just a few drops every time you want to start painting, and you will see how far you can go. And what's fun about this actual kit here is that you will see there are lots of different colors to play with. And then of course, you can mix these and create your own colors. Also in the kit, you will find a bunch of paintbrushes of all different sizes, and that will come in handy because you'll find that some areas are really, really tiny, other areas are much bigger, so you'll figure out which brush works best depending on what you're painting. Also, you will find a palette. This palette is where you'll put drops of the dye all around, and you'll also be able to mix your colors right here on this very palette. So the most fun part of the kit are these silk hoops. And it is actual silk fabric that's glued right to a metal rim. And you'll also find on your silk hoops that some of them have drawings, really fun ones. I did seahorses and sea turtles, mandalas, depending on the kit. You'll take a look and see which ones you got. And this is the outline of the seahorses, and for example, this one. And this is what I use to do the outline. This is called Gutta, and it's a resist. It is what I draw here, and it keeps the color from going outside the line. So think about silk painting as a coloring book, but it's on fabric instead. With these outlines, you can then add color on the inside spaces, and you can add lots of different colors all around. And we'll get more into it later. But you'll find here that you have some drawn already, and then I also gave you some blank ones so you can have some fun with it. And that's what's in your kit. By the way, I order my stuff from a company called dharmatrading.com, and that's usually where I get the silk and the dyes. Basically everything that I use, I can get from there. All right, let's get set up so that we can get to painting. So some things I want to point out. The dye that we're using, the silk painting dye, it is water-based, and that's great because you can wash your hands with soap and water and the color will come right out. And on plastic surfaces, you can wipe it down. So that's good. However, it is a dye, and just like tie-dye and any kind of dye on fabric, it will stain. So be sure you put on comfortable clothes that you don't mind a few splashes of color that might actually land on your clothing. All right, so that's for the dye part of it and what you wear. The other thing that you will need for the setup is a cup of water. And then also what you will need is a small piece of paper towel. And I use mine over and over and over again. It actually becomes its own work of art by the time I'm done. It doesn't need to be a whole lot because we won't be using it very much. Maybe it is a good idea, however, to have a rag and other paper towels nearby in case there's maybe some spillage, so you want to be able to clean up right away. But as far as painting, this is all you need. All right, I know you're getting ready to paint. You're probably, hopefully, very excited about actually putting the silk painting dye onto the fabric. I also want to show you what it looks like when you start painting on silk. So here is a finished piece. This is a mandala. Some of you have images like this. Some of you have seahorses or sea turtles as well. And this is silk painting. And when you look at it closely, you'll see that the colors are wonderful in the way that they actually blend together. That is the beauty of silk painting. The other thing that I really love about silk painting is that the color goes through onto the other side of the fabric. So this is really fun to put right up at a window or anywhere where you can see both sides of the painting. And I just finished this piece. This is of seahorses, so I thought maybe you'll get an idea of how you can mix some colors and just get an idea of how it looks when you start adding the dye. And look at that. This is actually the back side, and this is the front. And then this is another piece that I just finished, again giving you an idea of what silk painting looks like. So, let's get started.